took a loan. Let me say I borrowed money from people. I borrowed money from about I think three people, and then I took that money, went off to invest it. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are just joining us, welcome to the tribe. In here, we talk about everything finance, everything investment, and healthy lifestyle and wholesome living. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about my investment experience. Rather, I'm going to be sharing an investment experience with you guys. And then I believe that in the course of sharing this experience with you, or at least at the end of the video, you must have learned a lot to take an informed decision as you are on your wealth creation journey. So, yes, to get down to the gist as the hot, many years ago, me, myself, and I, I invested. First of all, I carried all my savings. Let me say my life savings, because as at that time, that was like everything I had. I took that money and invested it on some things I believe that were going to yield profit for me. So as at that time, when I invested everything I had personally, I saw that the market was doing well. The dollar rate was also doing well, like to my favor. Everything was going on well, and I'm like, okay, as this my life savings, everything is just going well. I was so happy. I was not imagining what will happen if I invest more. I already talked about how that it is the weight of the seed. It is the amount of the seed you plant. I always liken investment to farming, to agriculture. So I'd already mentioned that it is the weight of, no, rather the amount of the seed you sow or you plant. It's also going to be reflecting on the harvest you are going to be getting. In the last live session, I made mention of a farmer who plant 1 cup of maize compared to the farmer who plant 10 cups of maize. Their harvest is not going to be the same, except for that farmer that plants 1 cup of maize, except somebody is going to be dashing him maize, but there is no magic. There's no magic he's going to do that his harvest is going to be looking like the farmer that planted 10 cups of maize. And it is true. What will happen if I now increase the amount of seed? That's what I did. Ladies and gentlemen, just guess. Me, myself, about 3 people took a loan, pay you at a so time. So my investment goal was that I'm going to be invest. Ha! The storm came. Ladies and gentlemen, the storm came, the rain came, the wind came. There is nothing that did not came. If there's any English like that, nothing did not came at that time. After I'd invested the money, like let me say it again, my life savings, because again, build my portfolio. I was just looking for ways to increase my assets. So I carried everything I had saved from my businesses and everything I was doing and invested, plus money that I went to loan from 3 people. And it's not 5 naira I loaned. If you're in Nigeria watching me, you know what 5 naira is. I'm just trying to say that it was not a little amount at my level at that time. I noticed that after investing that money, the market started going down. After some time, it was not up to the time I was supposed to get dividends and reward for investment. The goal for me, I wanted to do like a short-term investment, but then I went to choose a very um volatile asset, something that is very risky. I was high. I wanted to take risk. I did not calculate my steps, ladies and gentlemen. I did not calculate my steps. I did not calculate. I was just like, okay. And then I was zealous, very zealous at that year. I'm still zealous. But then I was very zealous. I was like, I was just in my head. I was just adding 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 6 is 4. That kind of mathematical equation that'll be running in your cerebrum. Ha! Today I was just remembering it. I said, no, I must come here and I must share because I don't know who is like me. I mean, who wants to be like me before, want to go and be investing your life savings and even having the audacity, the temerity, the boldness to borrow people's money and go and invest. So every day I'll be looking at my system. The market will be going down. As the market is going down, the the atmosphere, the environment, the air is cold, but I'll be sweating. When I think it was the cold season. It was cold season at that time. So because I know that everywhere was cold, but my back like this was dripping sweat. I don't enter. Hey, I've carried me say God. So every time because what I was even scared of was like, oh my God, I've given everything for this investment. How am I going to be facing the people I've collected loans from? Let me laugh. It's not that I'm laughing, no. That time, me and anybody know they laugh. I was not even laughing with myself. I was not laughing with anything, no matter how funny the joke is. I ain't laughing. Because tell me why I should laugh. Why? Every time after investing, the market was still green, everything was still going on. So I was like, okay, giving it at the stipulated time I wanted to like finally take returns. I was like, this thing is going to work, and bro, I'm just going to like just blow. Okay. And then something happened. I was now looking at my system. I noticed that the market was now going down, going down, going down. So I was still hopeful. I was like, it's one of those things. Hey, hey, hey. It's one of those things. I get when you are living in denial. When you are living in denial, something is happening before your very eyes, and you're now like, no, it can't be me, bro. It's you. It's you. It's you. You are living in denial. I did too. So I'm not judging you. I know I'm not judging you. Don't mind the fact that I'm laughing, but I'm not judging you. So I kept looking at my phone, looking at my system. I'm like, no, it cannot be me. Me? Hey, me that have sense. Me that is a wise woman. It cannot happen to me. No, it's not me. It's not me. I kept looking at this system. Everything was every day, you know, because I know that I'm owing people. I'm going and I need to pay back this money. And this was not the goal now. This was not the plan. The plan was that I will invest this money and then returns will come. And then I will pay back the money I loaned and then take those returns to do whatever I wanted to do with my life. But everything was going down. And I was still hopeful. What did they say about hope again? Hope make it what? Not ashamed. I was not ashamed. It was showing red, but I was not ashamed. Mm. I was not ashamed. I was still looking at it. I said, no, cannot be me. It cannot be me. It cannot be me in this mess. Because wetin I want to tell people where I collect money. No, no, no. Make it make sense. And that was how, even in that hope, I was looking at the market. dollar rate was not even making sense. The market rate was not even making sense. Nothing was making sense. Everything was just acting like they are hungry. You know when something's acting, I be when somebody's acting like they are hungry, they just they do anyhow. And then that was how in my hope, ladies and gentlemen, in my hope, everything went to like the value of the money, the value of the assets rather went to nothing. It dropped. It was dropping gradually. Oh, where for get sense, comot my money. I would have been like, okay, it has happened. It has happened. At least I lose small, but at least I not lose everything. But I was still hopeful. And then all these analysts, people come online and be like, I am analyzing this asset. It's going to be so rate at so time. So I'm just here to tell you that if you are there following that kind of flow, you fit enter oh. They know they use vibes, they do investment oh. You fit enter oh. They know they use them say do investment oh. You fit enter oh. Because and then what was even fueling my hope at that time when I go online and then research the assets I had picked to invest on, I'll be seeing I'll be seeing a lot of other people like fueling my unknown to them. They don't know that somebody is there in the corner of the world. Somebody's there. Forgive me. Let me be serious. They don't know that somebody's there in one corner of the world looking for what to fuel their hope so that they will get their money back. Ha! So when I come online, go to maybe some of the social media platforms, I'll see all these financial analysts analyzing assets, different types of assets, be analyzing it. And me that was looking for what to make me hopeful and not ashamed. I'll be like, yes, I believe, believe in UK. I want to believe so that the market will be good. Let me take my money, even if it's the capital I can get. Let me carry my capital and be good. I'm not doing it. Is it by force? Is it by force? I'm not doing again. Allow me to carry my money and be going now. I've entered and now see that it's not good. I want to go, but give me back my capital. Is it too much to ask? So I'll see a lot of videos that making me feel hopeful and I'll be feeling good. But when I look at my system, when I look at what the market that was staring me in my eyes, it's not looking good. Oh, that day, I remember that day. This year, I'm telling you guys, it's many years ago, many years ago, when I was financially aware. It's one thing to be financially aware, and it's another thing to be actually financially literate, and it's another thing to take calculated risks, and it's another thing to know your risk appetite. So that year, I was very financial aware. But I would say there's something they say, zeal without knowledge, na it. Because nothing you go tell me. I was so zealous. But did I have sense? Oh, Fatima. I was so zealous. But I knew then, for some of the young people who be listening to me today, and then let's say God now help your life. God now show you light. Without asking that, how is this road? How do people walking on this road walk? You start to put your leg and be going. Be going. What you see, you take. Because zeal without knowledge, they make sense. Doesn't make sense. Because I know that year, sitting down to look at it, I know I was financially aware. I was aware of my situation, my financial situation. And then I was I because of that awareness, I now knew that, oh, there's something even better than where I'm coming from or where I was currently at that time. So I started looking forward to financial freedom, wealth creation, even transgenerational wealth creation, some a kind of wealth that outlives you. So, and then without even learning the basics of investment properly, all the money that I have managed, quote and unquote, to earn and then save, pack all of them. I say I'm doing investments. And then because the thing was not showing me green light, when somebody show you green light, it means that the relationship go work. When somebody show you green light, you think say it go work. That was what happened to me, ladies and gentlemen. I was heartbroken. I, I, is when they are talking of bold women, they should add me to that list. People that are audacious, because I'm just thinking of my younger self, and I'm like, girl, what gave you the audacity? Hey, what gave you the audacity to do that thing that you did? So now, for those of you asking, how did it end? How did it go? It did not end well. Nothing is funny. Like if there's somebody going through that kind of situation now, I think this laughter go dey annoy the person, because that time anybody that laugh, I'm like, why is the person laughing? But bro, they did not invest with you. You are the one that took the decision. So yes, I learned that maybe if before that time, I did not know that every action comes with consequences. I knew that time because nobody came to save me. I actually took, like, the consequence of that action. I felt it. I felt it. Because who send you work? Now you send yourself. So yes, the market went down. Everything was just down. At some point, even when the some of the analysts, most of, if not all of them on social media, saw that those assets or those group of assets were not doing well, they started to how snail draw into their shell. Now so they drew into their shell. I was not looking. I told you I was living in denial. If not, if even though I made that bad investment decision at that time, if I was not in denial, I for don't come that money since. For those of you that are listening that are not Nigerians, I mean that I would have taken out my capital, even though I'd have lost a little at that time, but at least I wouldn't have lost everything. So all those analysts, I'm not even saying that to create content or come online and be analyzing um, investment assets, maybe stock, crypto, real estate, whatever it is, whether commodity investment, whatever it is. I'm not even saying that it's wrong to come online and give your own analysis, because even most of them give their disclaimer that they are not your financial advisor. But some of us then were quite vulnerable. So I'm not even saying that that is wrong. I'm not in any way speaking against it. I'm just saying that I really sat down with those kind of insights. And then from different people, different counsels can make you confused. But then as far as they were giving me hope, what was my own? I was collecting the hope, feeling hopeful that one day go better. What? You see that one day go better is not a strategy, especially when it comes to building wealth, especially when it comes to your finances. You are not earning well. You say one day it go better. Yes, I believe in God's favor and all of that. But you see, in finances, it's not a good strategy. Let me leave it at that before I go deep in that aspect. So yes, those analysts, great people, very insightful content, but they drew into their shell because themselves they did not know tomorrow. They also believed whatever metrics of analysis they use at that time, it did not work out. So when I now came back and I was now looking for what will make me hopeful that my situation could better one day. I did not see anything. And then that was when the scales, it's like when they put scales in your eyes, the thing just cover it. That's when the thing now break. It's like the veil has been done. The scales broke, and then see the reality. Ha! Told you that when I was in denial, the atmosphere was cold. But me, I cannot forget that experience. Sweat was dripping from my back. Like sweat. Normally I know the sweat small, but sweat was sharp dripping from my body. Now imagine me when denial has faded off and then I am staring into the reality. I am staring into the reality that the money don't go. I mean to say, I'm saying that to say that the money has gone. It has gone. Like the value of the asset went to nothing. So when I saw that, I've messed up. You see how it's going from making the wrong decision to when things the market was not moving well to moving it to living in denial for a long time. Because if I was truthful and very, very proactive, I would not lose so much. Would there be losses? Yes. But I wouldn't have lost so much to take me back to the level I had already left financially. So when I was now ready, some of you, something will happen. The truth is staring you in your face, but you are not agreeing for the truth. You are still denying the truth in the presence of the truth. So when I was now ready to face the truth, I was so broken. I know that I look back today and I laugh a lot about it. But guy, it was not funny. Nothing about it was funny. I was so broken. I was so broken. I was scared. I was broken, yes. At some point again, if I hear anybody talk about investment, blah 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 blah, I was scared because I'm like, once beaten, twice shy. I be hard in the talk am. I was like, this thing wiped me once. Guy, wipe me again. I've learnt my lesson for good. Lessons were hard, but yeah, I learnt it. So that particular that particular investment step or decision or strategy was not a wise one. And then it took me many steps backward. Me that was feeling like, oh, I was doing good, I was doing well for my level or at my level, whatever the English is. I was doing well as at that time, and then I was just looking forward to scaling higher. You see that decision now? that decision I made to borrow money and then put it in a very volatile asset took me took me backwards, very backwards. Remember I told you that I had to I actually loaned money for, I think, from 3 or 4 persons. Like I was so sure. I was, it was feelings. Again, I told you that investment is not on vibes. You don't invest with vibes. But I was so sure that I felt like this asset is going to deliver. So that was the boldness. I went to these persons to collect their hard earned money with the promise that I was going to pay back. So since it was not a dash, even if it was a dash, it's something that really can pain anybody. But then it was not a dash, and I had to pay back because these persons came back calling for their money. And so because I was borrowing it that with the mind that at a very short period of time I was going to pay back. So they started calling. This was me trying. They did not know what I used the money for, and I did not tell them. I just felt like I was taking the right step and a very wise decision. So that was me. This was me as at that time trying to heal, trying to see how I'll get back on my feet, what I should do. Hey, and then I was just there on my own, looking for where the balm of Gilead is. And somebody was calling me and asking me how far the money that you collected, the money what? The money has gone. Money don't go. So, so the thing is that I needed to pay back that those money I collected from different people. But then I was trying to heal, and then I was now thinking of what I was going to do that would hi wahala no good oh. Wahala no good oh. But then they started calling for their money, and then yes, made it. I told them that okay, this money I'm collecting, I'm going to refund it. So true to my words, I had to return it, whether I lost it or I did not. And that was where I said I that in that season of my life, I knew the meaning of consequences. Hi, let me just say something at this point. If you are doing something that is not good and you think that you will not get the consequences for that action, be joking. Sometimes it comes immediate, sometimes it comes later. But you see, consequences is not just an English word. I knew what consequences meant. Ha! So they called for their money. I was like, okay, just give me a little time, give me a little time. I kept posting them. But at some point, I was like, no, let me just do the right thing. You know, I called each and every one of them. I was like, see, this is what happened. I'm in a big mess. But as for your money, I'm going to refund it. And then thank God for the kind of persons I loaned money from. Because if they were not understanding and they were troublesome people, my own would have been finished. Because this kind of experiences, let's say you gave somebody money, you're doing good for that person. Because yes, they were doing good to me. Because they felt like I'm saying so much because, but then let's continue. They believed that I was in need, and yes, I was in need, and I needed their money, and then they loaned it out to me. So, before, for any reason, first of all, as much as possible, avoid loans, avoid borrowing more, especially when you know that without you borrowing that money, you can still do what you want to do. Please avoid it. But then, if there is no other way out and you believe you actually believe that getting loans or borrowing money from people is the way out of that financial situation. Please look at the character of the person you're collecting money from. You know, they tell person two times. So, but in this case, counting your blessing is full, and it takes away the pressure of that season away from you. So yes, one of my blessings was the quality of people I was agreement, and then you are not keeping to the terms of the agreement. Now you know. So that's me opening up to them and telling them what I've gotten myself into, and they should just be they should just give me some time. Yeah, so they actually gave me some time, but then every money I worked for, I was using it to service that loan, those loans I had got. Investment experience, rather, I'm going to be sharing an investment experience with you guys. And then I believe that in the course of sharing this experience with you, or at least at the end of the video, you must have learned a lot to take an informed decision as you are on your wealth creation journey. So, yes, to get down to the gist as the hot, many years ago, me, myself, and I, I invested. First of all, I carried all my savings. Let me say my life savings, because as at that time, said it on some things I believed that were going to yield profit for me. So as at that time, when I invested everything I had personally, I saw that seed. It is the amount of the seed you plant. I always liken investment to farming, to agriculture. So I'd already mentioned that it is the weight of, no, rather the amount of the seed you sow or you plant. It's also going to be reflecting on the harvest you are going to be getting. In the last live session, I made mention of a farmer who plant 1 cup of maize compared to the farmer who plant 10 cups of maize. Their harvest is not going to be the same, except for that farmer that plants 1 cup of maize, except somebody is going to be dashing him maize. But there is no magic. There's no magic he's going to do that his harvest is going to be looking like the farmer that planted 10 cups of maize. Do you get? So yes, I already had that mind, and it is true. So now I'm like, what will happen if I now increase the amount of seed